Picture this. You're wandering around in a world where every step counts, every character feels like a real person, and your choices drag you deeper into an amazing story. Campaign games have really made their mark in gaming history, giving us some of the coolest experiences ever. Today, we're checking out the best campaign games of all time, so buckle up for an epic ride through awesome stories, stunning worlds, and moments you won't forget. Whether you're a pro gamer or just want to dive into a game with a killer story, campaign games really hit differently. They're not just games, they're full-on adventures that stick with you even after you finish. Come hang out with us as we check out some of the best campaigns ever made. Each one is sure to grab you and keep you hooked. Number 1, The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt, a tale of destiny and choice. The Witcher 3 isn't just any game, it's a total work of art. CD Projekt Red built this amazing world where every chat, mission, and choice really feels like it could shake things up around you. You step into the shoes of Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter, but the real mission is finding Ciri, this girl with some mysterious powers who's like Geralt's kid. The choices you face aren't always straightforward, and that's what makes it so special. Do you lend a hand to a town in trouble, or do you go after clues about where Ciri is? Both have weight, and that weight stays with you. The Witcher 3 is a prime example of what campaign games can really do. It's got an awesome world, a deep story, and emotions that not many games can compete with. Number 2, The Last of Us: Surviving the Human Condition. The Last of Us is considered to be a masterpiece in the sphere of storytelling. This game represents something more than just zombies. People can go through a difficult and cruel world jointly with Joel and Ellie, but what changes the state of a viewer is the growing and developing relations of the characters. From their initial encounter, there exists a profound mixture of tension, heartbreak, and significant personal growth. Naughty Dog has crafted a narrative centered on survival and adversity, wherein the true monsters extend beyond the infected. The story explores the extremes to which individuals will go to ensure their survival, the sacrifices they endure along the journey, and the intricate friendships that develop. The gameplay is markedly intense and challenging, rendering each encounter increasingly desperate, much like the environment in which the characters reside. Number 3, Red Dead Redemption 2: A Western Odyssey. If there's ever a game that feels like you're living in an epic Western story, it's definitely Red Dead Redemption 2. Rockstar Games nailed it with a huge open world that's so detailed it feels alive. The story of Arthur Morgan, an outlaw trying to figure out his beliefs and deal with his gang falling apart, is definitely one to remember. Each mission pulls you deeper into his struggles, and every conversation gives you more insight into his past. Plus, the gorgeous scenery makes every ride through the countryside feel like a movie. Rockstar really captured that Old West vibe, but even more, they told a heartfelt story about loyalty, redemption, and how time just keeps moving on. Number 4, Mass Effect 2: The Ultimate Space Opera. Imagine building a team from scratch, choosing allies, and preparing for what feels like a one-way mission. Mass Effect 2 is basically space adventure heaven. You get to be Commander Shepard, rounding up a crew to take on a huge threat to the galaxy. Every character has their own backstory and a reason to join your team. The bonds you form with your crew feel super satisfying and are key to the way the story plays out. Your choices and relationships really matter, and by the end, it feels like you've gone on an epic adventure with friends you won't forget anytime soon. Number 5, Bioshock Infinite: A World of Ideals and Intrigue. What starts off as a simple rescue of a girl named Elizabeth in the world of Bioshock Infinite turns into a wild ride through alternate realities, fate, and some deep philosophical stuff. The dynamic between the protagonist Booker and Elizabeth constitutes one of the game's most compelling aspects. And as players engage more deeply with the narrative, the experience transcends mere combat to explore the rich thematic content presented. This game is not merely a form of entertainment, it is an experience that prompts critical reflection and lingers in one's consciousness long after gameplay has concluded. Number 6, Dark Souls: Challenge, Mystery, and Triumph. Not everyone would call Dark Souls a campaign game, cause it's super tough, but that's what makes it so memorable. You don't get the story laid out for you. It's all tucked away in item descriptions, locations, and some pretty vague dialogues. You're this solo warrior in a cursed land, and every step feels like it could be your last. All the same, there is nothing quite like carving the game to discover many of its hidden secrets and defeat its difficult stages. As it is, From Software didn't simply tell a story that one can just read. Instead, they penned a story which people must struggle through, and that is why Dark Souls is so great. Number 7, Uncharted 4, a thief's end, adventure, family, and legacy. There's great fun to be had in Uncharted 4, but it comes in the form of one last thrilling adventure for Nathan Drake, a beloved character in the domain of video games. Despite the game being built around high-octane action moments, Naughty Dog weaves them expertly around a brilliant portrayal of Nathan's past, his family, and the life he left behind. The concept goes beyond simple grab for gold. It touches on the reality of the rich life, breakage of family values, and personal struggle in trying to mend a broken past. This game not only concludes Nathan's journey, but also heightens the emotional and physical stakes, ultimately providing players with a profound sense of closure and fulfillment. Number 8, Fallout, New Vegas, freedom and consequence in a nuclear wasteland. Fallout, New Vegas is inherently built around the concept of choice. Choices made by the player. The theme can be described as people having a choice in making their characters and setting in the post-apocalyptic Las Vegas. Players may choose to align with specific factions or determine whom to assist or not, and each decision bears significant consequences. The environment transcends a mere desolate wasteland, embodying a complex interplay of political dynamics, power conflicts, and survival challenges. The writing is intellectually engaging, the world is immersive, and by the conclusion, it feels as though players have genuinely left their imprint on the Mojave Desert. Number 9, Half-Life 2. Revolutionizing the genre, Half-Life 2 isn't just famous for its story, it totally changed how games approach telling stories. Valve created this awesome world packed with atmosphere, tension, and sci-fi vibes. You're playing as Gordon Freeman taking on an alien regime, and the mix of physics puzzles, memorable characters, and innovative mechanics really set it apart. It wasn't just a game you played through, it laid down a blueprint for storytelling and design that would shape games for a long time. Number 10, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Adventure Redefined. Last but not least, we've got The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, a game that totally changed the game for exploration. It throws you into this huge open world and just says, have at it. No strict paths, no restrictions, just pure freedom. It's a campaign that feels personal, where every discovery feels like it's yours. Nintendo created a world where every rock overturned, every mountaintop scaled feels like a new chapter in your adventure. So there you go, some of the coolest campaign games ever. Whether you're exploring alien worlds, battling mythical monsters, or just trying to stay alive, these games have given us unforgettable stories. If you're new or just love gaming stuff, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our gaming deep dives. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next one.